Seeding your lawn is one of the best projects that you can do to improve the overall appearance of your lawn. But it's also one of the easiest to mess up. If you've ever spread grass seed and wondered why it didn't come up, this is going to be the video for you. Today, I'm going to show you how to make sure that your seeding project doesn't fail. From seed to soil contact to how much watering you actually need to do, I'm going to break it all down step by step. Let's get into the video. Really quick, before we begin, if you want a free guide to all about grass seed, go to my website, thediylawncoach.com, and sign up for my email alerts, and it will automatically come to your inbox for free. It tells you everything that you really need to know about choosing the right grass seed for your lawn. So go get it, sign up for my email alerts, it's completely free. So here is something that I want you to keep in mind. Growing grass is simple, but not easy. There are basically two things that every grass seed needs to germinate and grow up healthy. And we'll talk about those here in just a second. But the one thing that I want you to remember, it all starts with a quality grass seed. So let me show you an example of what a quality grass seed looks like so that you know what to look for. No matter where you choose to get your grass seed, whether it's at a big box store, maybe an online vendor, or maybe your local hardware store, there is a couple things that I want to point out on this grass seed label that will tell you whether or not this is a high quality grass seed. Number one, I want you to look for the crop seeds or weed seeds. Ideally, we want this to be 0. This is going to ensure that we're not planting any weeds alongside our grass. The other thing that I want you to look for is a test date. Okay, this is important because this is going to ensure that you're getting fresh seed. The longer and the older grass seed is, the less propensity it has to germinate. Grass seed can be very expensive, so we want to ensure that what we're spending our hard-earned money on is grass seed and it's fresh and is actually going to germinate. And I mean, using a higher quality grass seed is going to yield us better results. And that's really why we're doing this in the first place. Am I right? So as I mentioned earlier, there are really only two things that grass seed needs in order to germinate. And we'll talk about those here in just a second in detail. But I also think it's worth mentioning that a grass seed contains everything that it needs to grow up healthy and strong. Think back to 5th grade science class, right? You have the endosperm, and it also contains the embryo, which is everything that it needs to grow up and be healthy and strong. So as long as we provide the two external components, we will get healthy grass. So I know what you're thinking. Well, what about soil temperatures when it comes to growing grass? And I'm glad you asked that question because soil temperatures are extremely important. Now I'm talking about soil temperatures, not air temperatures. Today is almost 90 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be about 78 degrees. That temperature is going up and down. But what is not going up and down is my soil temperatures. Ideally, for growing a cool season grass, we want to have soil temperatures between 50 and 65 degrees. It's important to remember that these temperatures are just ideal. Sure, grass seed will germinate above or slightly below these soil temperatures, but for an ideal planting, for the best results, we want to plant between 50 and 65 degrees. Now remember, I told you, growing grass seed is simple, but not easy. The two things that I'm about to share with you are not breaking news. Matter of fact, you probably already know what they are. And the first one is seed to soil contact. So let me show you exactly what we're talking about when we say seed to soil contact. All right, so we've got some bare areas out here just where we've got maybe some dead grass and things like that, maybe where the grass has died just from the summer. And I've got a little bit of grass seed. Okay, so what a lot of people will do is they'll come out here and they'll just sprinkle some grass seed over the area. Let me show you what this looks like. So if we come in here a little bit closer, and hopefully you guys can see this, but you see that seed is laying up right on top of the dead grass. It's not actually touching the soil. This grass seed will never germinate because it's not got seed to soil contact. And so there are a lot of tools that are available to help us get seed to soil contact. And this is probably one of my favorite. I've had this for a number of years. I'll leave a link to Amazon where you can go check this out. It's just called a garden weasel. And you could also use maybe a core aerator as well. You see those guys that rent them from a local tool shop, and they drive them around the yard and they punch all these little holes. That's another great way to get seed to soil contact. But for a little bare area like what I'm dealing with here, this is gonna be perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this little garden weasel and we're gonna lightly work this grass seed down into the soil and get good seed to soil contact. Let me show you what that looks like. Again, this is an extremely simple step, but now when we look at this little area, now we see that the seed is actually touching the soil. Ideally, we want to work the seed into the top 1/4 inch and make sure it has really good seed to soil contact. So the second thing that grass seed must have in order to germinate once we get good seed to soil contact is probably the one that confuses people the most, and that is how much to water. And the reason why that is so confusing is because no one can tell you exactly how much water that you need to get that grass seed to come up. There are just too many variables. Sunlight, air temperature, location, seeds, the depth of your grass seed. You know, are you on bare dirt? Are you in and are you reseeding in grass? There's just too many things to try to tell someone exactly how much to water. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it really simple. All you have to do is keep the ground moist. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're gonna come back over here to this spot where we just seeded, and we're gonna use our little moisture measuring device, AKA our finger. All right, and it's really simple. We're just gonna come in here and we're gonna touch it. We're gonna use our finger and we're just gonna touch the soil. If we feel moisture in there, then we know that it's got enough moisture. If we come in here and it kind of crumbles and it just feels dry, which this does not, this feels moist, then that's it. So what you have to do is just adjust your watering time to accommodate. If it's a hot day like it is today, almost 90 degrees, you're probably gonna have to water more frequently and probably longer to keep that grass seed moist. So maybe on a day when it is cloudy, you've got cloud cover, the ground isn't gonna dry out quickly. Maybe you don't have to water but once a day, or maybe not even have to water at all that day. You're gonna have to babysit it and you're gonna have to watch it. There's no other way. But if I was gonna give you a good starting place, a place to just pick a time and go, I would say I would start with 4 times a day for at least 4 to 5 minutes per area. That is a really good starting point for how much you need to be watering. Again, no one can tell you how much or how long you're supposed to water. You have to use your finger, you have to use your eyes, and you have to watch, but you need to do this and you need to keep it moist for the next 7 to 10 days. Period. No excuses. You have to do it. If you don't do this, your grass seed will not come up. Your grass seed will not come up. And your investment, all that money that you've spent, all that time and effort that you've spent on that grass seed and the fertilizer and prepping the soil and all those things, it's not gonna come up if you don't keep the seed moist. So don't overcomplicate it, just keep it really simple. A little patience now will go a long way to giving you that lawn that you've always wanted. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If this video has helped you in any way, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that bell icon so that you don't miss any time I make a new video. And also, try this new feature that YouTube has called Hype. It helps little creators like me get those videos out to help other people who need help getting that beautiful lawn. My name is Devin, I'm the DIY Lawn Coach, and I can't wait to see you on the lawn. Peace.